So I go in quarantine and I look around and I see a man from my hometown, and I ask him, do you know where Chaim Weiner is? Oh yeah, there are a whole group of people at the end, they're shaving their hair, cutting their hair, and then giving shaves and so forth. So I figured, let me take a look. I start walking back, and I see a man in a chair, and he is facing this way, and somehow or other I see part of a profile, and I froze on the spot, like I didn't want to go further, because I remember my father, he was a strong guy, tall guy, to me anyway, survived Siberia 3 years, things like that. So I was hesitant, and I says, oh boy, don't let me see somebody that's like a Muslim. You know, Muslim were called the ones who were very slim, who lost a lot of weight, and skin and bones, and they were right away for the oven. They didn't even treat him or what. So I go and I walk around, and we look at each other. He just jumped out of the chair, and that's when I noticed. His legs were frozen, swollen. So I found out later that he gave the shoes to our neighbor, Meisner, who was a very weak man, very short guy, and so forth. But we were neighbor, he liked him, because this friend who noticed me, he says he gave the shoes to Mr. Meisner. And I says, what? That's how he was. So anyway, he just wiped off half the face, and we went to sit down at a bench. I come back the next day, and his neighbor, who was from our hometown, comes to me and says, listen, if you bring food for your father, you make sure that he eats it in front of you. I says, why? Maybe he's not hungry then. He says, I said, why? He says, somebody saw he put some bread under his pillow. They beat him up at night and did the stay. So that was the top of humanity. I lost all respect, because animals don't treat themselves like that. I come there, I walk to the bed where he was. He's not there. So I looked around for our guy from our hometown, and I said, Mr. Deutsch, where's my father? He says, I don't know. In the middle of the night, he passed out, or died, or whatever. They took him out. I saw him for 4 days. To this day, every day goes through my mind. My wife says, what are you gazing? What are you thinking? I said, no, nothing.